All right, on this episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast, we complain about how busy our lives have become, and at the same time, we get caught up on at least three games from Real Salt Lake. They're whatever you want to call it, out in Orlando. They're whatever happened against Dallas, and the other one. What was the other one?
We just love to let people come from behind. We're letting them sneak in from behind, Brent, and it's not okay anymore. We need to stop it. Make it stop, Brent. No more from behind.
Eh, don't stop, don't. Yes, exactly. All of that and more on this episode. And none of it is inappropriate. May seem like it, but none of it is inappropriate on this episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast. All right, it's another episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Goebel, joined by,
Tyler Thomas.
there we go. And it's just Tyler and myself. It has just been, I think we need I feel like we need a disclaimer every time we do an episode. It's because it's kind of been the busiest summer that I can remember for me. Obviously for you, Tyler, right?
Yep, yep.
And
Been a little crazy.
and Brennan. So it's been crazy. We're not going anywhere. We're still coming back at you. We're going to annoy you, bug you, make you mad, hopefully, stimulate some quality thoughts and conversations about our favorite clubs in American football and football across the world. But so, yeah, don't worry. We are continuing to do this. We're not quitters, but we have been incredibly busy, which life gets in the way. And, we're old. We got stuff to do. So, so let's get caught up. Last time we chatted, RSL was headed into some of the League's Cup matches. They ended up beating Juarez pretty handily, 3-0. Any thoughts on that so far on the League's Cup?
Yeah, I think that I'll start right off with my conspiracy theory.
Let's
We'll
jump
just
there.
go right to that, right? My conspiracy theory is that they want the League's Cup for some reason wants Leon to win it. Leon are this up and coming Mexican side. They're trying to reward them because the tournament really thrives on a strong Mexican side versus a powerful MLS side. And they don't want RSL in there. They don't want the crew in there. They want the bigger market teams. But here we are, just giving them the old bird and just getting after it like we do.
Yeah,
And
I'm just gonna say they're 2 games away from a CONCACAF berth where RSL is. But go ahead, finish your conspiracy theory. I didn't mean to jump in there.
no, that's okay. I
Hmm.
think they really want Leon to win it. They're the up and coming green machine of Mexico. They've had the MLS win it in 23, 24, and 25. So really they have to have a Mexican team win it so that there's a real, you know, rivalry going here. Because I think what we've discovered is it's really hard to win on the road if you're a Mexican team in the United States. It's hard, especially like 5 road games. Like, come on. I think that's why they hurried the playoff only to take the top 4 teams from each. Which this year that really, you know, got us going and got us excited about the tournament now all of a sudden because we're in, even though we took fourth, which is, hey, great, we'll take it because we can't seem to get a freaking point in MLS play right now. So, no, why might as well. Hey, if we can get a CONCACAF berth out of it and
Yeah,
do this, then bring it on, man. In fact, let's put all our eggs in this basket right now. We
and
we
that's
we talked about that last time. Brant was like, "Hey, if you're losing at halftime and results aren't going your way, just pull him out and play the kid." Opposite now. Now we're just flipping that on its head, right? We're like, go all in on this. If we just can get this, then we don't have to do so great in the league. We can just keep doing well at home and crappy on the road like we tend to do right now. So I don't know. That's like all sorts of thoughts just thrown at you at once, Brant.
yeah. I'm. I love a good conspiracy, but I haven't thought much about the League's Cup conspiracy. One thing I did want to bring up, I noticed during these games, I know that there's a lot of people that's really, I don't know, there's nothing that Major League Soccer can do to make some of these folks happy. And this League's Cup, this League's Cups pops up, and there's always talking, oh, it's just a money grab. But watching the games, especially the RSL games, which obviously I'm focused on, these the players, I think the players are down for this tournament,
Yeah.
right? I think the two leagues coming together, I think in the long run, if they can figure it out, however they want to figure it out, I think this really could be a tournament that people look forward to whenever maybe they have to figure out the timing. It is a congested season with the World Cup, which kind of makes it a little different this season. But the other leagues are able to throw in multiple cups, like the Premier League. They're playing in. Um, they've got the FA Cup. They've got there's three or four cups that they all play in the Premier League in England. So I don't know why Major League Soccer and Liga MX couldn't figure it out um, to play midweek games for the tournament and kind of run it through the season more than condensing it down. So I think there's something to be said about creating a really fun tournament that only lifts both countries because fans get motivated. And I've heard a lot of stories and seen a lot of things online where Liga MX teams they want to play in the United States because they make more money, their fans are here, they have lots of fans here. And so it's a great it's kind of a win-win for them. They get more name recognition out there. Maybe they don't win as many games, and I think moving forward, they're going to be a push to have more of these Leagues Cups games played in Mexico, which would really heighten, I think, the atmosphere and be, heighten the competition between the two countries and the two leagues. I think
Yeah,
I'm
I totally
it's
agree.
it's growing on me. It's really growing on me.
Yeah, I like it. I like the intensity of the games and stuff. Kind of back to my conspiracy theory, I thought of another thing. Uh, Leon play in Guanajuato. And yeah, I did have to practice that, even though I do speak a little Spanish. Guanajuato.
Guanajuato.
Yeah, pretty awesome name. But it's actually at 5,900 feet above sea level, which, Real Stadium's right around five, but Denver is what? Higher, right? Like Mile High Stadium,
It's like
right?
a mile, yeah.
Almost a mile, right? So maybe there's that conspiracy too, that difference in height, Uh, the Leon's already used to it, so they're in Denver uh, bringing it up. I don't know. I don't know. I'm
And
trying to
I know.
create a little bit of conspiracy by what we're doing here, but in
If
reality,
you want to add to the
yeah,
conspiracy, you could add to the RSL Communications or RSL Stadium team setting up a concerts to block Real Salt Lake from playing at home in this tournament because that's the
right?
reason they're in Colorado. Because
No,
some
it's
guy,
it. I
no,
mean,
really
somebody
is.
said that. I don't think that's true though. I think it's because Leon's the home team, and so it can't be at Real Stadium, right? Like from what I
No, I
understand.
think I think the concert. If we're it's conspiracy time on Real on RSL Random Fan Podcast, so it doesn't have to make sense. It's just the fact that they intentionally scheduled somebody at RSL intentionally scheduled a concert because they really don't like League's Cup. So and it's internal politics. None of what I said is true. Just said was true, but since we're doing conspiracy theories, why not? But I think
Well,
that did have a
I mean, I read three different things. One of them said that under the League's Cup rules, Leon did not earn hosting privileges for the quarterfinal, but they were the top seed. So I get it, but also like I don't. But it's in Commerce City, it's in Colorado at the Rapid Stadium. So what does RSL do? They put out a thing that says, "Hey, if you come, we'll give you a free ticket." And that's pretty cool, right? So you go on their website, check it out if you want to if you're a road warrior or you're a Real fan in Denver, then hit them up. Get to that game, my friend. I looked it up. It's about an 8.5 hour drive from Salt Lake ish, depending on where you're at. 8.5. Also, if you're my little brother, it's 7. So, he's
What
faster.
about from Arizona?
It's about 15 hours. So, from where I live down here. So, kind of a
And
rough commute.
well, money bags. Um, Mr. I'd go to the World Cup games all the time. You could probably
Yeah,
afford to go
I'd
to.
have to fly out of the Mesa airport to be able to get there, and then it'd be I you can't fly to Commerce City, right? Like, or is it close to the airport? I don't know.
I don't know.
You've been there. You've been there. Come on.
I've been to Commerce City, yeah, one time, but I'm in
Is it
Boise
close to
this
the
week for
airport?
work, and so I don't know. I've never flown into Denver. No, the airport's far away from everything. But anyway, uh, it's time to close our conspiracy.
Another conspiracy theory. Come
Yeah.
on, let's add one more.
Have you been to the Denver airport? Have you gone? No. That's a whole other conspiracy episode.
Uh,
So I think we've agreed that we like this tournament. I think it's got some work to be done. RSL faces Leon in Colorado on Tuesday. And like you were mentioning, before the last game against Juarez, if RSL was down at halftime and getting smoked, that kind of call off the dogs and get ready for the rest of the MLS season. But turns out we flipped that story on its head because RSL went into Orlando and they sent the kids.
yeah, yeah, pretty much everybody, right? So we started Stuyduhar at the back, which is new and exciting and new. Broke the streak of MLS starts for your boy Cabral. Um,
64.
yeah, Stuyduhar was brought over from Orlando, so that, kind of him a homecoming of sorts. Across the back was Junka on the left, who I thought actually played pretty well. I thought Sam represented himself. He was one of the few guys that really thought stood out. Those tree trunks for legs just sent in that cross early on. But anyway, Arias in the middle. This is where I get that Glad is out. But I don't know that Arias is the man back there. I know he's a kid. I know he's young, and it's so hard to break in a
22,
center
Tyler.
back when you're young and Colombian. But I don't love the kid back there right now. He's a little too nervy for me. He had 3 or 4 times where he just yeah, was either soft or played poorly out of the back, and I'm concerned for the kid. Now, that doesn't mean he can't turn it around, but right now I'd rather see the big tree back there. And I know you like to call Matt Crooks the tree, but right now our only tree is the palm tree, which is what my screen is if you can see us on the video. The palm tree, I think, is what we're gonna call Quentin from now on, right? The palm tree. Tall and
Okay.
skinny. Yeah. I mean, might as well.
Well, I think if you're expecting Quentin to be your starter on Tuesday after a game on Saturday, I really didn't have an issue with the lineup. You had to. I was surprised. I was honestly surprised that it was so rotated. 10 players, right? I think was who was the only one that started. Anyway, there was I think Ruiz or somebody, but ten of the players were rotated, and I was not surprised at the first half because I think that this is where Pablo excels. If Pablo Mastroeni does anything well, it's in games like this where he gets his ragtag group of players to play and focus on one game and to get a result. It's happened multiple times where you just don't think they're going to do it and they come out and they surprise you, which they did in the first half. And I think
We had two
Orlando was
contributions from
somewhat
a lot of
rotated
places.
too.
You had a contribution from a lot of different places. You had uh who was playing left? Catranis. He was over there on the left, right? He was getting up and back, and we love the way Catranis plays. right? But he's no Juan Sanabria. So like he's getting some game time. So get in there, young buck, and mix it up. And he played like he hadn't played for a while. He played like he deserves some playing time here and there. Um,
I'll tell
and
you,
I love that. How about you?
I did too. I loved it. I thought Catranis, I think he was hard done. That ridiculous foul, I think it was the end of the first half when he got the foul called and the yellow card. It's like
Yeah,
wasn't even a foul. I like Fotis Pazakos, but man, there were some questionable calls. Though the one that really surprised me, I don't know how Dominic Markchuk gets a yellow or gets a foul called him when Janssen comes in and wipes him out. And it should have been Doxo I, on that play. Do you remember that? It was
best
like
out, right? Yeah,
10 minutes into the game.
yeah. And it's too bad the replays weren't very definitive, or at least the ones they showed on the TV. By the way, the camera crew, come on, guys. You guys suck. You keep zooming in on faces to try to get reactions, and then you miss the play. Like on the goal. Did you
Yeah.
see that? They zoomed in on Catranis,
Yeah.
and he's like making this face, and it was a good face. But we missed where the ball's going. Come on, Apple TV. What are you doing? Pulling a KSL on us? Please, please
Yeah.
stop.
I was really surprised at that. And I think they just didn't want to make a big call at that early in the game. But I really think that the call should have gone our way. It should have been a foul. And I think he just totally wiped out. Mark Chuk beat him to the ball. He was there first. And this guy just comes flying in out of nowhere. So the
Well,
first
and
half, I
like,
go ahead.
I don't think they showed a definitive replay that happened. I was very watching very closely and intently, and I did not see where Mark Chuk won it cleanly and he didn't touch it and then he wiped him out. But how do we not have that technology?
I agree. It was probably close. Initially watching it, if you're just watching it live, bang, bang. I thought Mark Chuk got there first, was going to beat him to the ball. But, it is what it is.
Well, and even if
It,
not,
it
shoulder to shoulder, he cleans him out. Mark Chuk's running with the ball, and
uh-huh.
Benson's taking the sideways run. And if he doesn't win the ball cleanly, that's a foul. And you're the last man back, and it's not even close.
Yeah. So like I
Yeah, the
said, I thought,
problem is that Booth would have been one step faster, and he would have been just beyond him, and it would have been a red card.
yeah, I
Think
thought
of
Mark
that.
Chuk,
Well, it goes up.
yeah.
Right
I thought
side.
Mark Chuk played well. He I
Yeah,
think DJ in the post game kind of brought it up. You know, when he started out, he was going square or back with the passes, but then he got the goal and it kind of turned him on and he
yeah.
started playing a lot more forward. But I thought it was going back to the lineup. Um, you
It was
had, like we talked about,
Catranis, Moisa, your boy,
Moisen,
right?
Moisen Ruiz in the middle, Lineker on the right, Hezerkani on the left, and Victor. I'm not going to be here very long. Olatunji up top. Uh, wow, man, that guy. I mean, he is snake bit. I thought the two players that really kind of I was disappointed in. Uh, Lineker, I don't know. I didn't see him. You just didn't see him much. Or
Uh, I don't know why he's playing, man. I know last podcast I said, well, isn't Hezer Kani better? Isn't and I kind of started a small list, and then I noticed a small change. Did you notice a small change this week from Real Salt Lake? They cut short a loan from a couple places, didn't they? Did you notice that
no,
in the
no.
news?
Let me know.
Breaking news. Breaking news. RSL recalls. Who was it? Where'd he go? Diego Rossio. Yep, not Diego Rossi, because he also played for us too. Remember that? It was
Yeah,
a short stint. but
Yeah.
not Diego Rossi. Diego Rossio. He is the forward. He was recalled from Liga MX Powerhouse Club Leon and recalled to RSL. Either because we have reason to use him or they need him at the Monarchs. Not sure which. But the other person I thought didn't Saba play in this game? Saba,
He said Saba came in, he subbed. He was
yeah,
some of the subs in the second half. But the first half, I didn't think and I'm one of these fans that, still learning the game. And so I can get caught up in who's touching the ball all the time and not necessarily who's having impact off the ball, which I try and focus on. I try and force myself to look at things. It's kind of like when you watch American football. If you really want to watch the game, you watch the offensive line, the defensive line, and kind of watch that play. It can dictate in soccer. You got to watch off the play, off the ball, and I'm doing my best to kind of focus on that. And Ruiz, I according to what I'm seeing, they got a 5.9, which I thought was pretty high because I thought he was a ghost most of the game. The players that really stood out for me, uh, Luca Moisa, I thought the guy was
yeah,
just a baller in there. I thought he was getting back on defense, but also he was a catalyst to a lot of the RSL's
yeah,
movement moving forward. Him and Hezarkhani were just lighting it up over there on the left side, working together.
yeah.
Olatunji, I mean, we had 7 offsides. What you?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh, yeah.
geez, Louise!
It's
I
almost
thought,
like the effort was not there, right? From him. He was like out of sorts. He was disconnected.
yeah,
It's
I
almost like
feel for
he's
the guy.
discouraged, you know? And I hate
Yeah,
that. I hate to say that, but it sounds like he's discouraged.
I couldn't agree more. I think he's a player, one of these players that is looking for that goal, kind of like Mark Chuk got in the game. He needs something. There was one where he was called offside where he didn't even go for the ball, man. Put the ball in the back of the
Yeah.
net.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I thought RS, I'm going to give him a ton of slack because he's 22, but he has made some boneheaded plays like, backhilling a ball out.
What
Maybe
was
not
that?
in this game. And when the
Oh,
previous game, I think it was the previous game where he backhilled it. But
yeah.
I think the 3 players in the first half that really stood out uh, were Junka, Moisa, and Hezarkhani. If I were to give out orange slices, those 3 guys would definitely get and Marchuk right there with them. I
Yeah.
thought those were
Yeah.
the 3 that stood out for me. Go ahead.
No, I really like the way that those three kind of combined even. Moisa started leading that break. We should have been up 2-0 at half, right before half. And Moisa plays that outside of the football into Mark Juke. Mark Juke had all day and he took it first time and Crepeau got to it. And he wants that one back. You know what I mean? I get it. You're trying to take it out of the air and try to catch the goalie off guard with the first time, but I don't know if I don't know if there's a best way, but that's what he felt was right at the time. And what a ball to be put in on. And he already finished that way once. Maybe go the other side, you know what I mean? Like you already beat him that way on the floor. So yeah, I guess he was going high and Crepo got that, and that was a heck of a save, honestly. That was a
Yeah.
top, top, top choice save of the week for me. But
What I loved about that pass from Moisa, and we are huge Moisa fans. I don't think we can understate how much we like Moisa, right?
yeah, yeah, especially you and Brennan. I mean, I like him too. I think he's great. Still some room to go, but play the
Oh
kid. He's
yeah.
got some cool upside.
On that pass, I was watching it develop, and there was an opportunity. He could have gone way too early on that pass because as soon as he got it, I mean, Mark Chuk was wide open over there, but you could see him wait for for the pass for to make the pass at a better time, and he put Mark Chuk right on it. And if not for the save, RSL would have been up 2-0, and maybe it's a different game. But man, that pass, there were some good passes. I mean, Mark Chuk had one as well. I think it was to Olatunji. But man, there were some good play. And I think RSL, this lineup deserves a lot of credit for getting out there and playing hard. But also, man, Orlando did not look like they wanted to be there at all in that first half. I don't know what that was about, but yeah, the second half, they just kind of turned around. And I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know what you do, but um, the second half, Orlando came out and they got yelled at the in the halftime by their coach and say, "You guys are getting beat by the Monarchs here.
Yeah.
What the heck is going on?" Not to demean any of the RSL players, um, but it was
But it
10
was
new
the
players.
second team. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think Junka is a second team player because he's been getting some minutes. I think Junka is one of those players that could be breaking into the starting lineup if I'm coaching because he's just quality. But
Well,
man,
that left side was good. Junker was good, right? I
yeah,
mean, but I still think we are lacking just that little bit of kind of that, you know, lethal finisher that,
we
will
don't
sub
have
on
that
to,
right now.
well, when Sergey's not in, right?
Yeah, and
Sergey Sylvans.
you can
Yeah.
talk about injury, but it is kind of indictment on the roster right now that your best scoring player is a rookie that you drafted,
Well,
and
they drafted him last year, right? And he played
yeah,
a year in UCLA. But then he came back and yeah, he's a rookie, but I mean, he's not a baby rookie, like an 18-year-old kind of rookie,
no,
like
no, but
he
he's
is in
still a
the NBA.
rookie,
Yeah, first year in the
and
league. So, but
but Daryl
they upped
D,
his contract because he's killing it,
yeah,
right? So they gave him a big boy contract now, even though he's a rookie. So he's already off his rookie contract. Good for him. Way to go, young man. Get
yeah.
paid.
Well,
Score
that's the
goals, get
rumor.
paid.
That's the rumor anyway. We haven't heard the final. It'll probably be announced, in
No, it's on
January.
the RSL website.
Oh, it is now. Like I
Yeah,
said, been busy.
RSL extends contract for rookie forward. Boom,
So
boom, boom.
halftime, Daryl Dike came in, and Joran Gerber came in and Justin Ellis came in for Orlando, and really, man, just turned the screws on RSL, and Orlando
Dude,
just
I
spent the
like Justin
entire.
Ellis. That Ellis kid, I was like, man, why don't we get that guy? That guy was good, man. He almost didn't put a foot wrong the whole time. Like, gosh, that guy's good.
Yeah, and then excuse me, RSL made some subs. Saba, Luna, and Gila Vogie came in the 61st minute. Kind of turned things around a little bit, and then Caliscan came in the 66th. Because Moisa looked like he was cramping.
Oh yeah.
And Sanabria came in the 77th minute because um, Catranis was sitting on a yellow. Not a bad sub there. And then,
Oh yeah. And we forgot to mention Kobe Henry. He's back from the dead.
oh man, yeah,
He's
mm,
alive.
he's alive.
Yeah, we
Um,
saw him. He played.
I
He
think
got a yellow card.
he's,
At least his yellow card was solid, right? He wasn't messing around. He was like, slam. I'll take the
uh,
yellow. Thank you.
yeah, well, he's a work
Yellow
in
card
progress.
like that.
He's got a long way to go. I
Send him
think
back. But yeah, you're right.
he,
Well, I'd
he
rather
was
see him in the
not.
middle, right? But then who do you play at right back? Do we not have a right back? Is that why we called back Diego Rocio? I don't know. So many questions.
Yeah. So then Orlando just put the pressure on, and RSL just could not. I thought you would expect with Luna and Gilavogi and Saba when they came in, that you're adding those guys to get a little pressure off the defense and get some veteran savvy in there to put some possession together, string some passes together, and get the ball out of your half. But RSL just looked like they were panicking a lot of the time, and Orlando just kept the pressure up. And in the end, you know, it didn't take too long in the second half to tie the game up with Griezmann, and then just clear your lines, get the ball out of your box, and Griezmann with another one. I mean,
Yeah, that first goal was like three breakdowns in a row. First of all, Hez gives the ball away up the field, which shouldn't be that big of a deal. It was off either a clearance or a goal kick. I can't remember which, but it was Stuyvesant playing it, long out of the back. So
yes,
we know that's not going to be a high probability anyway. So you want to make sure you're in good shape on defense. And then basically they just ran right by us on three different occasions. They played it down the right wing. They knocked it into DK. He spun away from Arias. Like, oh man, like Junka, I maybe could have done a little more, but not. I didn't think so. He was just not. I mean, he wasn't in a horrible spot, but Arias got spun by the bigger, stronger DK, you know, and then whoever was coming backside, whoever was over there at the time, can't remember who it was, but didn't close space on Griezmann, and it's like, come on, man, he just tapped it in. And Stuyvesant came out and shut down DK, which I thought was a great save, but it shot
yep,
sideways and fell right to Griezmann. So that sucked.
yeah. Well, you could feel it coming, even though it was only 53 minutes into the, you know, 8 minutes into the second half. But you could tell that one team had a talking to and came out with an agenda,
Yeah.
and the other team was like, "We need to hang on." So,
Yeah, I think that's why Pablo went ahead and made all those changes. It's like four changes in 4 minutes or something, 4 or 5 minutes, right?
uh-huh.
And then they subbed in Spicer, and that basically spelled the end. Spicer kept going at us, and we kept. And here's Brent. Here's what drives me nuts about the way we defend. Okay, I love a good aggressive defense. And we are playing such passive defense right now, and it's driving me nuts, right? And what I mean by passive defense is you're in the passing lane, you're in a good position, I say in air quotes, and you just hope the ball's going to be played to you or close to your guy or in a way you can get to it. And that's the idea of position-based defense, right? You get in good positions, you kind of dare them to break your lines and you watch the passing lanes really good and you kind of just attack those things. But Orlando was doing a little more one-on-one and that was breaking us down. So they were getting by us and then we shifted and I mean both goals were the result of kind of just waiting for a ball we could kick away kind of a thing. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah, it was
Junka
really
stepped in
frustrating.
and it like kind of bounced off him, but he didn't play through the ball. He just kind of stood in the way. And it's like, is that what we're coaching? Is that what because we're playing like that. We played like that against Dallas. We stood in the way and hope that freaking Peter Musa wouldn't hit the open part of the goal. It's like, okay, the best player in the league at scoring goals has the ball. I'll just stand here and hope he hits me with it instead of sliding into the way or diving and like where's our like last ditch defending? Like it was gone in that Dallas game too. And in this game too, it was just this passive like I hope I'm in a good spot to stop this hope and like no, go stop the ball. That's different to me. Go stop ball, right? And I get it, you might get run by here and there, but you kind of have to stop ball at a certain point anyway, and that's your skill, you know? So that was driving
Yeah,
me nuts throughout this game.
I agree. It was driving me nuts too. Have some confidence, get in there and clear the ball out. Nobody wanted to step up there. I don't know if they're gun shy, they're going to get a foul called on them, but I think that's symptomatic of teams that are struggling, right? They
Yep.
get timid. RSL hasn't won a game. They've gone 7 games in Major League Soccer without winning a game. And I think it shows. Also, too, it is, you have to cut them some slack. I thought the post game, Pablo came in and thought the game was awesome. And kudos for him for standing up for the players and saying, they played well. This roster fought hard. And honestly, I think,
Man, they
if
didn't
you
even
wanted
play
to,
the RSL way. The RSL way is have possession, stand, put your foot on the ball, slow the other team down. And yeah, we had 9 shots and 4 on goal, and they only had 3 on goal, but they scored twice, and we only got one. So I get that you're not coaching outcomes. I get that. But like they had 605 passes and we had 385. We could have possessed the ball better. We could have done a lot better in a lot of different ways. But anyway, sorry.
no, no, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just thought that I was going to say that I thought this game came down to a little bit of coaching. I mean, players would play the game, but I think the second half, RSL, I don't know how you do it, but you really got to get the team to possess the ball more, like you said. And I thought they missed opportunities. I thought they were panicky. And I think sometimes that comes down on the coach, to get the players to um, come together, so to speak. And I don't know how you do that, other than yelling, but there was something off in that second half. And Orlando took it to RSL, and RSL didn't react well to the pressure, even when our main guys made it into the game. And I was a little disappointed in that,
Yeah, I
but
think
not necessarily in
Saba
the result.
yeah, I think Saba didn't really play well. He was kind of lost. I don't know that he knows what to do with Luna. I think the two of them play too similar to play well together. And I haven't, like, I've seen a few glimpses here and there, but I expect more from those two. They both have a ton of like class and skill, and they should be combining left, right, and center to just destroy people. And it's not really working out that way. Same thing with Olatunji. The three of them should be, and it's like Gila Vogi's holding it all together up there, it feels like. You know, I don't know.
Yeah,
Luna has moments of brilliance, but I don't know. It does feel a little disconnected in that space.
yeah, yeah. So I thought I would. Pablo always talks about goals change games, and I didn't think about it till talking to Junkin after the game. I should have asked Pablo it, but goals change games, but also the goal in this game changed the expectations, I think, especially in the first half. No one expected RSL to really get a result or anything. But once they went ahead 1-0 and looked like they were dominating the game in the first half, I think that really changed the expectations, which made the second half even more frustrating. I thought, at least for me, because I thought the team that played the second half did not play as well as the team that played the first half. But credit to San Jose for taking advantage and putting the screws to
San
Real Salt
Jose?
Lake, and they kind of crumbled.
Oh, when did we play San Jose last? It's been a while.
Orlando, sorry.
That's all right. It was kind of like the announcer was I assume he was the Orlando announcer. That's why he knew Orlando so well, and like
Yeah,
halfway
like it
through he
was
was
this.
like, "Oh yeah, Real Salt Lake uses a lion too." Whoops.
the per the
I should
Purple
quit
Lions
calling
that
them the Lions. I'll call them the Purple Lions now. But he was pretty funny too. I liked his personality, but it seemed like he knew all of Orlando and half the names of Real Salt Lake he was mispronunciating. And yes, I
well,
said
he
it
got
like that on
Moisa
purpose.
right once, and the rest of the time was Moisa. It's like, who is
Moisa.
this Moisa?
Yeah, and he
And
was saying
Mark
Gila
Chook.
Bogey right just to just to annoy us, I guess. I don't know. That was
So
funny.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that
and
was a
that's fun
disappointing
story.
result, I think, because RSL kind of let the game get away from them when I thought they could have got a result, but that second half just really did not
Yeah,
go
but
their
like
way.
Brant, this is what, 4 games in a row where we've given up a late goal? Okay, three. 3 games in a row we've given up a late goal.
I
Minnesota,
think it's 4 out of 5.
well, I'm not counting Leagues Cup or St. Louis because we did give up a late goal in St. Louis as well. But we gave up a late goal in St. Louis, Minnesota. Dallas just couldn't stop scoring on us. Ah, that was so frustrating. And then Orlando give up a late winner,
Yeah,
at
it's the
least in,
fourth blown lead in the last 5 MLS games. St. Louis, Portland, Minnesota, Orlando, and Dallas with the outlier.
yeah.
According to WikiTrade, but
Well, yeah, and you know, that's also what happened in the what was it, the Tigres game, right? Went
yeah,
up early,
yeah,
gave back a goal, lost in penalties. Oh
yeah.
no, they
So
scored early. They scored in the 6th minute. Sorry, I forgot.
we think we tied them up.
Yeah, we tied them up. Well,
So
hopefully we
looking,
get after that Leon game tomorrow.
yeah. So the Orlando game, I think was frustrating because they played well in the first half, like I said. And then the Dallas game, that was really frustrating too. Did you watch that game?
Oh my gosh, I was going nuts. Brutal.
So yeah, Dallas scored in 17 minute and then the 20th and the 45th. So it was 1-0. That first
Yeah, right
goal,
before
man.
half.
And then I thought RSL got lucky in this game. The
Really?
that first goal by Solans from Luna. And let me just say this: I don't think Luna should be taking free kicks.
Oh my gosh, he shouldn't be taking corner kicks. He can't clear the first defender. He hit him half
Corner
the time.
kicks, free kicks. If Saba is in there, Saba needs to be taken.
Or
Luna has
Junka
really
over there on the
struggled.
left side. But
Yeah,
like,
Junka, somebody, anybody but Luna at the moment, and he's got to figure some stuff out there. But that first goal from RSL after they were uh, down 2-0, because the first goal, I think Dallas just kind of walked right through RSL. It
jeez.
was a really nice goal, and the second one was the
It
second
was
one the
right
Peter
after.
Musa header. Yeah, the Peter
Yeah.
Musa header is like who's not marking this guy?
My gosh. Well,
So we're
and
down
it
two
was
nothing.
well on that one. To be fair, it was Sanabria, and he's short, and Musa's tall. But here's the thing: when you have a short outside back and you're the inside back, you don't let Musa get guarded by Sanabria. You say you slide inside and guard Shorty over here, and I'll take stilts. You know what I mean? Like, come on, killing me, killing me with the practical matchups here. Like, this should not be hard.
Yeah,
Driving, man, driving me nuts. Just these little tiny mistakes.
yeah, I had to chuckle. I was at the game. We took our grandkids. We had 3 grandsons there, and if they're good and they stay and sit and watch the first half, they get to go. I take them out to the playground and watch the second half because that's what kids want to do when they're 7, 5, and 6, right? And I told my wife, it's
Grandpa
like,
duty comes before,
yeah, absolutely. So
second half.
I'm gonna make them, even when they're like 20 years old, I'm gonna tell them they have to go out to the playground. No, that's what we do. You made me come out here when you were a kid. I'm making you come out here now. So so they're down 2-0 and think, holy cow, this could get ugly. And then they got the nice little set piece to foul, and Luna kind of, I don't know, passes it to Solans and somehow goes off his shin or his knee or gets it off his foot, and they kind of loop it
Crazy
over the goal.
deflecto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, talk about luck. I mean, when things are going
Well,
your way.
that's a striker in form, right? You miss hit
Yeah,
it, it still goes in, right? Like, what do you do,
that
man?
yeah,
That's good
that's the
stuff.
kind of player that believes in himself, and you absolutely need him. So RSL makes it 2-1, and you're thinking, okay, it's going to be game on. And then the 45th minute, Musa was that the one in the middle of the box, or oh, I remember the first goal was just like out of nowhere, top of the box, and just kind of beats Cabral to his right, right?
Oh, from Valiente.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then Musa was the one. The second one was at the little back hill. The Arias tried to clear out right to Musa, and then he sends it in. Am I remembering that correctly?
Oh, I don't remember how it started. It might have. But the third one was where we had like six guys in the way of Musa and we still couldn't block him. That's the one I was referring to earlier, where I was
Yeah,
like, everybody was back on defense, but they just weren't guarding the guy who can kick the ball in. That's what I'm saying. Like they're so worried about their defensive shape that they're not guarding the player. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
So
That's
it goes
frustrating to
three to
me.
one
That one was the
at
worst to me.
halftime. Yeah, 3-1 at halftime, and I heard the shouts. Watched it. I was trying to watch it on the game while I'm at the playground, and RSL ties it up. Morgan Gilavogi with a nice shot, and then Diego Luna. One of those was kind of lucky too. I thought Diego Luna's was a little.
Did Lojanica sub in at halftime for Arias in that game?
He might have. Let's see here.
There's a thing on the site and it just says Lojanica in, Arias out, but it doesn't list a minute.
No, I think it was halftime
Was it?
because
Okay.
Arias was not playing well in the first half. Substitution 46th minute. Saba in for Juan Jose Arias.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, that was a halftime.
And that's the thing. Like we weren't stopping him at all. And I think that might have knocked Arias's confidence down a notch. Um, and like I said, he's a young center back. It's a hard position, especially in MLS. It's his second language. There's a lot of things working against the kid. I'm willing to I'm willing as a fan to give him some grace in that, you know? He's got a long ways to go. He's got some bursts of awesomeness. You can see that. He's got good feet, he's got good speed. He's not getting beat up left and right, but he did against Musa. Peter
Yeah.
Musa, big, big, strong man, and he looked like a little boy. You know, happens.
Yeah. So RSL, credit to RSL, they fought back, tied the game up in the 64th minute because Morgan and Gila Vogie doing a great job. It's 3-3, and then it really just becomes who wants it more. And RSL gives up another. Just
Shaq Moore.
yeah,
Shaq Moore wanted it more. I know his name is
Jacques.
Moore, and his name is Shaq, but he did want it more, and he was kind of getting after us and getting down the wing, and then all of a sudden he just got in, and everybody's like, "Oh, look at that, boom!" And then they scored again, and
Yeah,
wah wah wah, we
yeah. So
go.
Rand Benjamin with the goal and then 90 plus one. Those always hurt. So another game where RSL just cannot finish it out, and it's starting to be a theme as we talked about. Because if you go back one more game, since we're trying to get caught up here, Minnesota.
That again,
I thought
brutal.
another home game.
Yeah.
That was a
In fact,
game where,
my daughters were sitting my kids were sitting just above the crossbar on the replay. So if you want to see what my kids look like, they have hair. I know it's weird, but my kids have hair and they're sitting right like when the chip is going over Cabral at the end of the game and everybody's like in the crowd is like no and it's like slow motion, you know, when you chip somebody it feels like slow motion because everybody's like glued to it, right? And they're on the second replay, both my kids are right above the crossbar, and they're both like, it's great.
Yeah, so
It's great.
89th
And
minute.
horrible, horrible,
It
and
was
great at the same time.
it was a well fought game. RSL, just like all of the games against Minnesota. And Minnesota RSL hasn't beat Minnesota since, you
Gosh,
know, it's been a long, long time. What,
not
2017
a
or I don't
violent
know.
man, not a violent man, Brant, but that's one of the things that just sets me off. Like not beating Minnesota since we threw the stuffies on the field back in the day. It's been a few years that we've beat them. It's been a while. We need to play them on a stuffy throw on the field game, right? Get
Yeah,
all the stuffies and throw them on the field, and then we'll beat them.
for the
That'll
kids.
do it. That'll fix it. Yep. Donate to those kids that are struggling. Yeah, that'll do it.
So it looks like RSL, I mean, they get the goal. Sergey again gets the goal in the 82nd minute, and you're thinking, hey, RSL is going to get off the Schneid,
Schneid.
get 3 points,
What is
and
the
then
Schneid?
get off the Schneid. It's the same
I know it's
for
a
old
saying, but I
guys.
don't know what it is. The
Get off
Schneid?
the get off the loss. Get off the
Is that Yiddish?
probably probably.
How do you spell it?
I think it's Schnide. I guess I have to
Schneid?
look it up. Get off the Schneid.
Why don't you get off the Schneid? Leave me alone about my
EID. Get
Schneid, all
off the
right?
schneid. To get off the schneid means to finally break a losing, scoreless, or hitless streak. It is a common slang phrase in American sports. It's used when a team or player wins their first game or
But
scores
what's
their
the
first points
origin?
after a
I know what it
long
means.
drought.
I don't know what the origin is. That's what I was
Where does the
asking.
phrase come from? The word comes from Schneider, a term used in card games like gin, rummy, and scat. I'm not going to look up scat for you. Low scores in these games being in a Schneider meant you failed to reach a basic threshold. So over
Gotcha.
time, English speakers shortened Schneider to Schneid and applied it to sports slumps. So there you go.
There you
We've gone
go. Okay.
from
Thank you.
conspiracy
Card
theories
game.
to getting off the Schneid.
To
There
card
you go.
game. So why the heck is Leinekert still playing, bro? I don't understand.
I don't know.
He's not
I don't
bringing
know.
hardly anything to the team. Anyway, I don't
He
pretend to
did.
know Pablo's heart, but
Yeah.
whew, I'm a little
He
worried about
did.
him right now.
He did get that goal, and he did play well for a half in one of the games. I
Yeah,
will
when the
give
other
him
team
that.
gave up, he was pretty good then.
Yeah. So
When
yeah. So
Juarez decided they
RSL.
weren't gonna play anymore, right? That's when he was pretty good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So RSL. No, no.
I'd love to see him turn it around. I really would. I just don't know what he's bringing right now. And there's guys on the bench that I would much rather see at this point. But whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see how that
So
plays out. But
let's take a look at RSL schedule. We just went over the three uh, pretty much subpar games where RSL is not play, and they're at home. So away to Orlando, 2-1. We went over that quite a bit. At home, 4-3 against Dallas, a late goal in Orlando. Home, Salt Lake against Minnesota, give up a late goal. That man, that's got to suck. And I think we didn't talk. We talked a little bit about Cabral not starting against Orlando. I thought that was a good time to rest him. I
yeah,
think I think the pressure's getting to him because his teammates in front of him aren't helping him out unless they're playing against a Mexican league side. Because Juarez looked like a totally different team. Maybe it comes down to effort, but I think somebody pointed out that the three teams they beat, have barely won a game and so far in their league play. Because I beat Juarez, Atalante through 4-0, and then they lost the penalty kicks to Tigres. So it looked like, RSL turned a corner, even though August 1st, they had a draw against St. Louis. I think that's another one, right? Where they gave up a late goal in the 72nd minute to
yeah.
um, lose that game.
the hairdo guy, right? And now we've slid all the way down. Didn't we go into the break in third or tied for fourth or something?
Oh, we
Now
were
we're
in
all the
third
way
place
down.
before the World Cup,
Hey.
and now we're way down there.
Yeah.
And so the last time we won a game, it was a long time ago, 7 games ago, is after St. Louis. We got the ridiculous red card in Portland, and then we lost to LAFC. And we did beat Burnley, and we drew
Well,
Minnesota. We got to go all the way back to May 16th against Colorado to get a victory points in Major League Soccer.
brutal.
That is a
Brutal.
long, long, long time ago. Although there has been some good games in there, against teams that aren't in Major League Soccer, but they don't really count. We'll see about that against Leon. So I think RSL is in an interesting spot, Tyler. I've been thinking about this a lot. I think they're I'm kind of concerned. And when I
Yeah.
get concerned, that means they turn it around. I was expecting them to turn around in Orlando, but I'm been disappointed with players that you expect to step up that haven't. I'm expecting Diego Luna to kind of finally become the leader of this team. Gila Vogie, when he's not playing, you can really sense the RSL struggles. When he's not in there, he is kind of the glue, but at the same time, he's not the demonstrative glue that scores a lot of goals. He wants to set people up, and you've got a rookie leading the way in goals scored. That is a recipe for disaster because young players hit a wall generally. There's not a lot of players that just keep scoring. I mean, Gozo seemed to be an outlier. So yeah, I think I'm hoping that RSL shows up and plays well against Leon, which will carry them into a nice performance against Colorado to get off the schneid, as we Googled and found out what that was about. But I'm really kind of concerned that they're not going to do it. I think we might see a longer slide here until they get things figured out. If they're going to see if this um, guy the rumored guy, what's his name, Ginny,
I don't know.
the
I don't pay attention to rumors.
he's a Liverpool player.
Yeah, whatever. Winalda.
Yeah, Wingelim.
I call him Winalda because that reminds me of old school Eric Winalda, who used to play for the U.S. national team. But here's the thing: we still have a long way to go. Still have a long way to go in the season. There's a lot of people that can, you know, still contribute. There's a lot of potential games to be played. There's a lot that we can still do going forward. We do still have some hope. We're down in eighth place, but we're not the bottom of the league. We're only +2 on goal differential, which again, I love to see us a big goal differential, but we're not there. But I think we go all in on Leagues Cup, and I really hope we win this game. And if we do, I think we're almost guaranteed a spot in the Champions League at that point, right?
2 more wins.
Okay, we have to have 2 wins to be
Two
guaranteed.
wins. If we beat Leon and then the winner of Austin Toluca, then I believe we have secured one of the three CONCACAF.
So weird because Austin's in like second to last place in the West right now, and they qualified for the second round. Ugh. All right. Well,
Yeah. So
guess we'll
yeah,
take one.
RSL. Let's look at. So they got Leon coming up, and I expect them. Uh, I don't know what to expect, but I really expect them to come out and play with some passion. Because Pablo is good at that game to game. I think what he struggles at is over time, right? Getting a team from the start of the season to the end of the season in a natural buildup. we usually use Seattle as an example, and they're doing their best to make it really difficult right now. I think Seattle's has a, has gone 10 games without a victory. They're really struggling right now.
Yeah.
But generally, we'll use Seattle as an example. They tend to build during the season and finish strong while RSL starts hot. And here we are in the middle of the summer slump and then trying to figure out how to gain momentum going into the second half of the end of the season. But I expect him to play well on Tuesday. And then move on from there. But jumping back into MLS play, it's going to go Colorado, a rival, LAFC, Houston, NYCFC, Vancouver, and Seattle. I mean, it doesn't get easier until you maybe get down to Philadelphia, 8 games away. And
You know,
so, yeah,
Philadelphia will
it's,
punch you, so you got to watch out because they'll tackle you in the box and not
yeah.
get red carded. But just don't mess
So,
with
yeah,
them
I
on the
mean,
ground. Did you see that play?
no.
Yeah. So Miami was playing Philly, and Bright, I
Oh,
guess he's
yeah.
remember he was kind of messing with Sullivan, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
Sullivan like picked him up and body slammed him. He was messing with him though, man. Like he was like
Yeah.
stepping over him all weird and stuff. It was looking.
Grabbed his head. Yeah, I'm
He
all
just
for
body
that.
slammed him. I was like, yeah, dude, do it. I thought for sure he was getting a red card, but for some reason he gave it to his little brother who was coming over to help him, to defend his brother or whatever. Oh,
Mhm.
it was silly, but they rescinded his red card too. Plus, he's only 16, so assault of a minor. I don't know. I don't think it can really escalate to that, right? Hopefully not.
No, no. I mean,
He's
not
only
unless he
16 though, just a
ran
kid.
up and punched him in the face or something. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's the things can turn around, and they probably will because that's what RSL does. But it's not going to get any easier. I really like my hope is that they go into Lyon and do their best and get the 3 points because I think RSL is as a team is kind of on that precipice where they need to pull things together or things could keep spinning out of control as the wins or the non-wins, the draws and the losses pile up
Yeah,
because
we got to be careful. Got to watch it. We got to get this off of the schneid.
off the schneid. So that any other thoughts on RSL? We kind of getting all caught up on them. Um,
Let's see. We had the rumor. We had the um uh Leagues Cup
Gozo
rule.
scored in his first game. Did you see that?
Oh, for the Crystal Palace
U
U21 team.
U21. Yeah,
Yeah, way to go, young
nice.
buck. Get it.
So I expect to
Yeah.
see him in the 18, the 20, whatever they do over there. I think they still only do 18, don't they?
I
But
don't know.
over in the Premier League, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets onto the team sheet there.
Well, it didn't
How
hurt that
about
they lost, to Everton 2-0, so maybe sooner than later. Guess we'll see.
yeah,
Good luck to
yeah,
the young bucks.
The Premier League started. We've got one game under our belts. So all of those new World Cup fans, all soccer fans that found the World Cup, hopefully you've picked a team to follow. That's Real Salt Lake. And if you don't want to do a Premier League team, we should do it. Let's do it. The Come On Crawley update. So League Two started already. I know everybody's kind of like, jump on the bandwagon. How do I, my phone's ringing off the hook. How do I get on this Crawley Town bandwagon? I say, yeah, welcome aboard. Woo, woo, woo. First game, they managed to get two red cards and lose. Just two
Okay.
ridiculous red, two ridiculous red cards. Guy walks up and the other guy pushes him down, falls down, kind of gets him in the face. Done. And then another guy is getting fouled. He's getting fouled. He's getting fouled, right? And he's taking the ball, dribbling the ball, and they call the foul, and he gets pissed and he turns around and throws the ball at the guy that fouled him, even though he finally got the call. So they ended up with two red cards, and then the other team, who did they start with? It's drawn a blank. They ended up getting a red card. So you had first game of the season, 9-10, go 0-0 into like the 99th minute, and um, they ended up scoring on a fluky header, and so probably Town loses 1-0. But then they go on to win this last week, pick up 3 points, 2-1, and where everything's back on track. So a great start to the season,
And
the good and bad, both sides, you know.
yeah, yeah, and a fun little fact in the Premier League, the first former RSL player to play in the Premier League was none other than Hull City's
Matt Crooks,
Matt
my
Crooks.
yeah, my man
You know,
crush, Matt Crooks,
who
who also
who
is the only RSL player former RSL player to score against Crawley and play in the Premier League. So I think we should continue to make that
right?
distinction.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Because then they went on to beat Man United, and Brennan isn't even here to rub it in his face. Two
Yeah.
zero, Hull City over Man United. That might be their highlight of the year. But
And a
yeah, look at
relatively a dominating 2-0. I mean, I don't think the Manchester United
man.
really ever could figure it out, but Matt Crooks played well
I
at
mean,
Hull
20
City.
shots for Man United and
Mm.
only eight for Hull. But yeah, they never figured it out. Sure. I mean, they scored in the
Uh,
17th minute and kind of they threatened a few times, but yeah, Matty
So
Crooks.
congratulations to Hull City getting the win. And, as often happens with recently promoted teams, they get a few wins early and then end up with, 9 points or something. But it's a
Yeah.
long season. But we'll see if who, which of the big rich six struggle the most. Arsenal, how was their first game?
Just a simple, straightforward 3-0 win, pretty boring.
Yeah.
Classic Arsenal.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yep, but they're not in first because Brighton took it to, I can't remember, somebody 4-0. So
Yeah.
good for Brighton.
Yeah. A good opening weekend, a lot of surprises, a lot of fun. Um, and I tell you, that's one thing I'm going to miss when MLS moves to the
And calendar.
European calendar is year-round soccer. There's just nothing better about watching the Premier League, watching Major League Soccer, watching League Two, watching whatever you want. And then in the summer, when the other leagues are off, you continue to watch Major League Soccer. So I think we're getting ripped off. We've got to figure out a way to get year-round soccer back in
Australia.
2028.
How about
That's
Australia?
We'll try. We'll try that. We'll
Start
try that.
following the
So
Aussie League.
the A League. All right. So what are your predictions for Leon against?
I
We'll see if
think
they
what
come true, but
happens
it's not.
is somebody on RSL trips at some point and falls. And then the ref's like, bro, that's a red card. And then the VAR is like, what are you talking about? We can't review that. We're bound by the rules of VAR, even though Messi did the same thing last week. And then somebody else will get angry, and then they'll get a red card, and RSL will still take it into the 90th minute until they give up the game-winning goal and lose 2-1. Um, on a last-minute goal that is somewhat suspect. Um, and probably have an Olatunji goal called back in the meantime, just for good measure, right? Like it'll be totally
Yeah.
legit, but the ref will like raise his flag and no one will be like, what was that call? And they'll just be like, yeah, play. And then they'll come down and score and we'll lose 2-1. That's my prediction. Very specific.
Okay. That very, very specific. Very, very specific. I, I think it's going to be like 2-2 and maybe go to penalties, and then we'll see what happens. But it will be interesting to see it kind of at a neutral ground. Um, More than likely, RSL. we'll have Colorado fans out there cheering for Leon, I would imagine. And wouldn't if the roles were reversed, I would probably do the same, right? And let's say Colorado was playing Leon and they needed a neutral site and they shipped them over here because Colorado is going to play Real Salt Lake to find next week at the Riot. So yeah, I think that'd be kind of fun to go and support the team your rival is playing. So we'll see how the stadium lines up, how many people show up. So yeah, I think it's going to be good. I expect RSL because that's what Pablo does. I'll keep saying it. He gets in game off one game situations. He's really good at getting the team motivated. He hasn't figured out how to keep them motivated through the whole season and playing well consistently. So I expect him to be play well. So I'll go 2-2 and then toss up on the penalty kicks.
Nice, nice. And with that, we leave you from the heat of Arizona. It's still 110 degrees outside, even though the sun's been down for 2 hours. But whatever.
And the beauty that is Boise, Idaho, Arizona, and Boise. We thank you also, and we just want to apologize to Rebecca Lowe. We did not have time for her tonight, but we'll get her on an upcoming episode.
That's right. We had her on hold
Yeah,
the whole time, dude. I'm sorry. I
yeah.
didn't
Sorry,
even.
sorry, Rebecca. We
All
couldn't
right,
get you
we'll get her
on
in. We'll sneak her in next week.
next time, next week. So with that, we'll say good luck to RSL, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, dude. Sorry,
All
my
right.
phone's like gonna die. I'm like, oh boy, I'm at like
Oh no, should we
3%.
do a quick preview?
Yeah.